Hi, this is James Shug with Westpac London's end of day report for Tuesday, October the 30th. Well, Hurricane Sandy and the associated meteorological events that have been worrying New Yorkers and others in America for some time now have really hit the East Coast with some considerable force. Fans of Jersey Shore, I think, will be watching reruns for some time to come. There's extensive flooding across a wide part of the eastern seaboard. Surge is expected to continue. We've still got no public transport in Manhattan. The stock market was closed again today. Some markets were trading, the futures markets, but we're looking in Europe at volumes down around 40% on what they would normally be at this time of year. There was some economic data out today, but some was delayed. The US Conference Board Confidence Index due out today has been pushed back to the 1st of November because of difficulty getting the responses in. In what data that was released included US house prices, which continued to accelerate on the Standard & Poor's Case-Shiller 20 City Index, up 0.5% in August for a 2% pace of gain annually. That's the highest since 2010, when the tax credit boost to house prices was coming through. There's more evidence there that the US housing market's finding its feet, and there might need to be a few more houses that need to be rebuilt, of course, after Sandy has done her stuff. Other data to mention, in Europe, the Business Climate Index and the Economic Confidence Index both fell to new post-2009 recession lows. So they peaked in 2011 and they've fallen right back down again to recessionary levels. German unemployment rose 20,000 in October. That's the fifth straight rise in that series. The jobless rate was revised up from 6.8 to 6.9% in September, and it's held at 6.9 in the October figures. So we've got more people unemployed, and that's been sufficient to push the unemployment rate up, which means the Euroland unemployment rate is going to be continuing to rise as well. One bright spot was the CPI's retail survey in the UK, jumped sharply in October after a lacklustre third quarter, which was weighed down by the Olympics in particular. It seems that retailing has bounced back in the early part of the fourth quarter. Spanish GDP shrank 0.3% in the third quarter. That compares to a 0.4% shrinkage published by the Bank of Spain as an estimate last week. It's still the fourth consecutive decline in a row, and in fact the fifth quarter without growth. The annual pace of decline there is 1.6%, and further negatives are expected down the track. We also saw higher inflation in Spain. It hit 3.5% in October. Remember, it was running at 1.9% just in June. That's the impact of tax increases that have been part of the austerity measures the Rajoy government has been putting through. In Greece, it seems a deal has kind of been reached in terms of what needs to be legislated for, such that Greece gets the next tranche of the bailout payments, but the coalition government are balking at signing the legislation, so that's still in somewhat of a state of hiatus. BP and Deutsche Bank both published really good results today, so that gave European markets a bit of a lift. So I'll give you the numbers as they stand. This is at the European close. The FTSE up almost 1% today, the French market up 1.5%, the Germans up 1.1%, Spanish market up 1.4%, and the Italian market up 1.1%. As I say, the Dow closed for the second day in a row. The commodity markets, we're looking at a 0.2% rise in the gold price to $1,712 an ounce, a third of a percent rise in copper, and a 0.5% rise in oil at $85.93 a barrel. The Aussie dollar, it's at 1.036 against the US dollar. Not much changed since yesterday. In Australia, we've got credit data the Reserve Bank publishes at the end of every month, and also building approvals figures that have showed a little bit of upward momentum in the last month or two. All right, that's it for today. Back again tomorrow. Maybe a bit more data delays to report out of the US. We may have more markets open, but only the weatherman can tell us that. Okay, back tomorrow.